I've been thinking, what do I want to talk to you guys about today? So I thought it would be a cool idea to kind of give you guys a little bit of a backstory on how I got started with making videos and kind of really just coming out of my shell. So I guess it started when I was really little. We had a cassette player, okay? And you could record on this cassette player. I would make like voiceover, kind of like little movies, and I would use sound effects. Like I would play something in the background while I was talking into the cassette player, like this close, because otherwise you couldn't get clear audio. And that's how I would just have fun. I mean, I would make this stuff, and I would get like my family, as in my parents, my mom and dad, to just listen to this stuff, or like I would put on this skit by myself, and I would have like costume changes and all this stuff, and I was just interested in it. But the thing is, I never had the guts to do it in public. I never had just the nerve to share with the public my creation. As you can tell, that kind of started to change. I signed up to be a part of a team known as the Camp Dove Workers Crew. And I guess that's kind of the first intro to where I started acting. It was difficult at first, and I was very backward. Debbie Maggard is the person that kind of taught me acting. I didn't understand stage presence, I didn't understand tone, I didn't understand emotions, and how to put yourself into a character until she taught me some of that stuff. The lady is a creative genius. She just understands a production and how it should function. And she so graciously told me that I talk way too fast. And she was right. I would just kind of speed through all of my lines without even noticing it, and then it just lost all of the emotion and the pull for the audience. Now in the same year, another person told me that I talk too fast, and that was Margie McKelvey. I had a very interesting relationship with Margie McKelvey. She was a very special person. Sadly, she has passed. She had a lot to do with me coming out of my rock. This same year at Camp Dove, where I kind of got everything started, I was a worker, and Camp Dove is a camp for kids. These kids that get to come out and just be in this awesome environment, good food, and they're well taken care of for those few days out of the year. And this is a highlight if you're a kid and you're able to go to Camp Dove. This is the big moment of your year. This is absolutely huge. And as you can imagine, that kind of a process takes a lot of manpower behind the scenes. And I wasn't really a fan of it, honestly. I didn't really get into it. I mean, I wanted to be there, I wanted to help, but I didn't really feel like I was doing anything. Cleaning a bathroom, whatever, like, it's not a big deal. I mean, obviously, who wants to clean a bathroom, but I don't know, it didn't really feel effective. Like, I felt like I was there, but I felt like most of my time was wasted. So I thought, what do I like? What am I good at? What can I offer them of myself that would be of use to them? So here's what I did, and actually a bit of a selfish move. I showed up to the kitchen a lot, and different teams had different times to work the kitchen. Here's the thing, I showed up to the kitchen every single meal. And eventually, it got to the point where the staff kind of liked it, and they liked me being there, and I felt like I was helpful and I was doing something, and it was cool and I liked it. And I loved getting to see the kids' faces as they came through and they got this food that I had helped prepare in some way, or that I had been a part of the process of setup, or even just the cleanup, but I was a part of that, and that was important. And that's something that I could latch onto and say, I helped with that and I made a difference. So that year goes by. I did a little acting, I did some work in the kitchen, but my acting was awful, and they just used me because I was there and available, and they just needed a guy part. I really appreciate that, and I totally understand where a new person is in acting, and you want to be used and you want to do this because it's fun and it's cool, but you're just not really good at it. That's where I was at. So the next year rolls around, another year at Camp Dove. I'll probably try to do the same thing that I did last year because that was really cool and I liked that. So as I'm walking to my cabin, sleeping bag in arm, I'm walking along and I hear a van pull up behind me. And I look over, and who is it but Margie? And she's got her window down and she says, "Hey, come here." And I can't remember all of her words, I really wish I could, but she said something to the effect of, "We appreciated you last year and it made a difference. Would you want to come into the kitchen as a kitchen worker?" And I said, "Absolutely, I would love to." So then she said, "Here's the catch. You gotta be in the kitchen by 5 a.m. 5 a.m. I am not a morning person, but nonetheless, I did it. And I absolutely loved it. And these people collectively kind of helped me to come out of my shell. I was kind of in a process already of doing that, and they pushed me just that step farther. We pulled some shenanigans, and it was just a lot of fun. It was crazy, and it was exhausting, but it was so worth it. And she told me, oh my goodness, Margie told me so many times, "You're gonna have to slow down. I have no idea what you just said." So I would do my best, and I would take my time, slow it down, start over, and she would go, "Okay, I can work with that." So working in the kitchen with these awesome people, and that paired with doing skits, was really instrumental in me kind of working out my personality. Now get this, I was like 13, 14 years old at this time. Life is a wreck. If you're in that age bracket, I'm sorry, you will get through it. I promise. It's gonna be okay. Just hold on. Hold on. You're gonna make it. So for whatever reason, I think it was simply necessity. These people with the skits and the classes, they felt the need to put me in reasonably major roles. I'm sure they didn't want to, but I was what they had to work with, and they did. And they took time and a lot of effort to shape how I did acting and how I communicated to the audience. And there's so many times when all these little critiques of like, "Oh, you're not facing the right way, the audience isn't gonna get the idea, like they're not gonna see your face, they're not gonna catch the expression, or you're not saying it in the right tone, you need to slow this down, they're not gonna catch it, your voice is wrong, you need to bring it to this level, say it this way." It felt like paintballs just hitting me all over. But it was good. I needed those critiques. And I knew they weren't doing it because like, "Oh, you're a terrible person and I just don't want to deal with you." They wanted to make me better. I now enjoy acting and making videos. It's something that I enjoy doing. It's fun for me, and I love to take on a character or a voice or anything like that. That's just a load of fun to me, and I love it. When before I didn't, and I dreaded it. So to those people in those few years of my life helped me come out of my shell, thank you. Thank you so much for believing in me and putting in time and and energy. I don't take that lightly. I just wish that I could tell one of them like how much they impacted me and what they did to make me who I am. Someday I'll get to. Not on this side of life though. And that's okay. And here's the fun part. I went from somebody that just showed up and wanted to help and do something to kind of running the worker side of it. I'm there for the cooks. They're the real backbone of the operation, but as far as the workers go, I have a lot of say in who goes where and how that functions. And that's a really, really big responsibility that I do not take lightly. I take it very seriously because I'm there, I'm in it, and I know what it takes to do that, and I know the effort that each of those guys put into it, and it is amazing. Camp would not function without them. There's no way. So to all of those workers, thank you. You guys are amazing. you make that camp function. And in doing that, you make the year of some of these kids. And without you, it wouldn't happen. So, you guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching the video today. You're awesome. Be sure to like the video, subscribe for more. We will see you next time.